All right. Take two. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. We have the winners of the Manhattan Beach Open, Trevor and Theo, on here. We know the people wanted to hear from the guys with the fun, the fun guys with the great speech after.
Just boring on the court, but then Trevor celebrates after points, and then once in a while say something funny in the interviews.
Witty.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, boys. Welcome back.
Thanks,
It's been a
Trey.
while.
Let's not cover your face up here, Trev.
It's been a while, yeah. Moneymaker.
Everyone wants to see that.
Shut up.
Podcast
No one
moneymaker.
wants to see it. Yeah,
Mug.
raise that mic up.
Yeah, welcome to the show. How we feeling?
This is weird because this is probably the most time Trevor and I are going to spend like sitting next to each other, talking with
Yeah,
each other.
right.
Since 2023.
Yeah, normally our meetings or video last 20 to 30 minutes max.
Right. You guys can just talk to me. It's fine. The
Yeah.
Trevor Crabb communication line is, he doesn't.
You're a
doesn't need to
veteran.
say much words.
You're a veteran. Yeah.
None of the Crab men, by the way.
Yes.
Old
Only
man
Paula.
Crab. Paula
Only
will
Paula
absolutely
speaks.
converse with you.
Only mother.
She tried to help me just like learn to deal with the crafts. I was like, this is really hard.
How many
This
of
is hard, Paula.
Trevor partners at one point or another are like, does he like me? I remember Steve-O saying that back in the
A
day.
few.
No, I told Trevor and my wife, I was like apologizing to my wife because I was like, now I know how it feels. 'Cause I don't know if like Trevor's mad at me or like he's not telling me anything. Like I'm so confused right now.
Crabs just don't say much. They're totally cool with just like jumping in the car, having a 30-minute car ride, and just sitting there. And once you understand that, you're like, oh, okay, I can like settle into it. But in the beginning, you're like, so, like what? I don't have anything to say.
That's why we just add a few cocktails in the mix, and then,
Yeah.
we'll get a little chattier.
Which, speaking of which, whiskey with the crabs, that was a big hit. I think the fans wanted more of that.
We might have to bring that at least a bonus episode back. I think soon, but I don't know.
bonus episode.
I'm glad
one and done.
I'd never watched one of those.
One and done.
And I have no regrets about that. So,
Unless we bring you on as a guest.
I
get
just go
fucked
from
up.
like, yeah, I'll be like real shy and quiet and then just like sloppy and just saying ridiculous stuff. So
We're gonna
it'd be great. It'd be a roller coaster.
We got to
ride
be
for
ready
fans.
to edit those ones. We should.
Yeah, we had a great editor back then.
Yeah, you did. That's exactly why the show probably canceled, right?
Yeah.
So you guys could do minimal work,
Yeah. Yes.
kind of like
Just-
me with this podcast. Not when I have Travis around.
No. Yeah.
Yeah,
Your show.
you didn't look happy changing the batteries in that thing.
Now
So.
that the thing's rolling right now, so we're
It's
good.
rolling.
But a lot of the fans when I'm walking around the beach now are like, "So what's happening with the podcast?" It's like, "Is that all you're worried about? Like, are you gonna run it by yourself?" I'm like, "No." Actually, we can address that. Yeah, the podcast is still running, by the way, people. We're just gonna figure it out, do it from afar, pre-record some episodes, figure it out. So don't worry. I know you guys were worried.
I mean, Travis usually makes things smooth, but I have a lot of faith in you.
I feel like I can. I feel like I can do it with you. Two chatty Cathys.
Yeah, should be easy.
Yeah.
No problem.
All right. Well, then let's get into starting off the pod with just Manhattan Beach Open. How'd it feel, Theo? You finally got your plaque.
I
How'd that
plaqued.
one?
I plaqued.
You got your plaque.
I plaqued. Feel like. I mean, it was good. I think what I was saying when I was drinking after, it just like all came to me.
Yeah.
I've had so many like almost large successes in this sport that it was good to finally get like, because I have the 3/4 in world championships,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is like sweet, but
So
I
true.
never took anything home. Almost made the Olympics. Had like a decent run at the Olympics in 2015. Got dumped halfway through. Like,
Yep.
like all these times where I felt like I was a deserving player of
Yeah.
like. Not that I like care that much anymore because I'm old about like getting accolades or whatever, but it's nice. Tell my wife it's nice to just have like something somewhere.
Yeah.
It happens to be embedded in the pier, so that when I'm older, I'll be like, hey, you know,
That's true.
now that I'm an insurance salesman or whatever, like,
Yeah.
at one time I was pretty good at this volleyball thing. And I
Yeah,
had this
totally.
cool thing to look at. So it's not. It was just kind of nice to get like one lasting.
Like a validation that you didn't really need, but it feels extremely good.
I would have needed it a lot. Like,
And that's
some
fair
years
because
ago, but
I
yeah.
feel like some players without, like a lot of times it's the Olympic status thing, right? Like Furbringer and Nick Lucena, and Nick before Phil, they were kind of like underwritten because they didn't have like get that Olympic title, and people kind of like throughout the history kind of forget like how great they were because they don't have that one thing or whatever. And I can definitely say that that's fair, like that you are definitely on the list of guys that should or could be on that pier, the guys that could have been at the Olympic, guys that could have been podiuming at World Champs. So I think it's all right in the volleyball world to like have you on there solidified.
Yeah, I think
You're
I'm like I like when there's justice in the sport. I like when the best teams win in the Olympics.
Sure.
Makes me happy. Like, and I was like, this is a little bit. I feel like I belong on the pier, especially. I mean, I don't know if I've dropped more than like 1 or 2 sets even in the first 2 days of Manhattan the last like 4 years. And we had that nightmare game against you guys, but I feel like I've been ready to win it.
the final?
No, the semi. 4 years ago was the semi. We were up 16-12 after winning the first set. I gave Trevor a little butt slap.
Yeah.
Which backfired because you got all freaking fired up. And then you guys switched because I was feeling really good. You guys were serving me.
Yeah.
And then you went right to Kame and you proceeded to block him like 5 or 6 times in a row. And I was just like, oh shit, what have I done? Like that was on me for sure for changing the dynamic of that.
If we could only know if the butt slap didn't happen, would it have turned?
We'll never know.
I mean, Trevor was done at that point.
That was a pretty bad
Butt slap?
No, choke job, I would say. Speaking of which, pretty similar this tournament with Chase and Miles being up in the second set.
Yeah, I didn't watch that. What was the score?
It was the same thing. It was like 17-13.
Oh.
And
from what I've heard, they're lucky they escaped. Not with like
Polinsky.
a 17th or
Polinsky,
because Bill had a swing. But that's always tricky.
Really?
They're kind of high off the Olympics.
For sure.
You come back. I don't know how much they had been training and whatnot. So I thought if they survived that first day that they would have a chance to get to the semis or the finals, and they played well after that. But yeah, I guess I'm just being more political than Trevor, calling it a choke job.
Yeah,
this guy's played great. See, this is why I hate interviews and I just say stupid shit, because once I hear myself talking just boring generic information, I'm like, this.
That's why I like podcasts.
Hate myself.
It's just like comes off more as just like ideally just like having beers and just hanging out vibe versus like saying the politically correct thing, which is I can't stand people doing interviews like that anymore. It's like, we worked hard and put all of our effort out there, and we can live with the results, and like it's like, yeah, we know.
Just all the platitudes, just wasting everyone's time. It's like when there's like a scandal, and then like, okay, never mind. I wanted to say about that.
You should say it. That's it.
A scandal such as the Andy and Miles firing their coach, and then you come out with like the PR statement after, and everyone's just like, here we go, like, it doesn't represent their values, and like there was miscommunication. You wish the other party the best, and everybody. Yeah, it's the most boring thing on the planet, and it's like, to me, it's like worse than anything.
Yeah.
And I guess I've watched enough basketball growing up and sports that I'm just like, oh, here we go again. And it's fun when there's someone like Shaq who just like says something. So I always make sure there's something in my head. I had one interview in Portugal where the announcer was calling him the Rocket. And I was like, if I get a chance, I'm asking, why the hell are you calling Trevor the Rocket this whole tournament? And I asked him, and it was like super uncomfortable because I don't know if his English was good enough.
What
and
part
I was
of
like,
Trevor represents
I was like, why are you calling him the Rocket? Is he fast? Does he jump high? Like, I'm really confused. And he's just like, yes, he's great playing.
I think it was all the above.
We should name you the Rocket.
It was all the above. Fast, jump high, and hit hard.
Trevor is legitimately like really, really, really fast. Like when his body is feeling good, it's the end of a set. I always say that from 18 point.
Really? 3 reallys?
Well, I think he's one of the fastest players on tour.
Fast.
I think he's one of the fastest on tour.
Like if we did sprints, you think he would be top? He'd be a top player?
I think if it was a sprint,
you're saying live volleyball speed.
Also, too,
where like a gun was to his head, yes.
I think he has good reaction.
No, it also is because I'm a bigger defender, so I can get to balls that some other guys can't too. So it looks like I'm extra fast.
That's a great argument.
He has the most deceiving game in the history of the sport, maybe.
Trevor, yeah. I like to liken him to like Draymond Green or something in the NBA.
That's the
Kind of shit talker. There's like an aura about him. And like on paper, you're like, I mean, he's not that big. He doesn't appear that strong. You just get it done. And I mean, that's why sports is cool. Like, because you have your expectations and then what actually happens out there. And Trevor's one of the guys that like, you think it's going to be one way when you're watching him.
Right.
And he's just proven time again that it's like,
yeah, the narrative.
It's a different way.
The narrative's definitely changed.
Yeah.
Also, like I think people probably thought you were one of the slowest players on tour, just because the way you
as
play.
a block, maybe as a blocker. I don't know.
Back,
but you don't need
originally.
I would say I'm quick, not fast.
And I think you're also like balanced, right? Like you're trying to make reads. You're not trying to like. I feel like people who think they're fast are like, I'm over here, I'm over here. Like they're juking all the time, and they're just like not balanced and ready to just move. Whereas like you're not gonna make inefficient moves.
And you don't need you're not running more than 4 steps ever, really, unless you shake a ball off the court.
Or you take a negative step, then you turn it into 5.
So it's quickness over fastness.
Was it fun? Was it or what was the difference?
It's a wordsmith.
Sure. What's the difference playing with behind Theo's block versus mine? Very different.
I wouldn't say very different. Obviously,
that's not what you told me. Behind tries back.
Theo obviously gets up bigger, but I think you can take away some of the lower hits a little better. And yeah,
Mister, I thought you. I guess in this situation with us sitting right next to you, you are getting a little political instead of just speaking your mind.
Oh, I think, wow, there's some hidden truths
I think
here
you
that
both
Theo's
can
trying to allude to.
You both can be streaky on your blocks at times.
I mean, that's blocking though.
Says Mr. Bunny Ear Blocker over here.
Yeah,
puppy paws.
But I would give the edge to Theo in blocking. I would just give him the edge to blocking.
That's fair.
I'd give it to me against some smaller players. Mm-hmm. I think you're a little bit better. You're more consistent than me at like the 4 and like just taking it every single time. Well, not that I'm like bad at it. Now I'm bad.
Styles too. I think like you're more of a ball up and you can reach a ton. So like your quick load and your ability to just get over the net fast. Whereas I'm like going all the way down, loading, and then I'm going like parallel.
I definitely, I think I'm a natural, like have that quicker jump going. But then I just at some point, maybe like 2012 in my indoor career, I like had an epiphany for blocking. I was like, oh, you're just gambling essentially just risk taking all the time. Right. That's my mindset for it. And that's what I'm always like, even if we're just doing a line block, I'm kind of trying to do something within it. I'm not just doing the same block every time, no matter what. I'm definitely, and to my detriment sometimes. But
I definitely think that's like what separates the big. It's like the game within the game, right? You have a 1, but you can bait and switch and do things within that 1 call, or you can pretty much do anything. It seems like you always have the green light to block any hit. It seems like
that would imply that somebody gave it to me.
Wait, what?
I have my own fucking green light.
Right, exactly. There you go. It works to your favor.
I think like once in a while, like we don't really. I'd say that's a good thing for us. We definitely don't really like criticize each other. I'll try, because I think so much about volleyball. Sometimes I'll try and like get Trevor to like think about something in a different way, maybe. But like, we're not. He doesn't really get on me that much about blocks. If I'm like tired and I'm missing some 4s, I know he's getting a little frustrated. But like, we're good in that way.
Freedom, I would say.
Yeah, it seems like it.
You know, it's the only time like we're getting like, if we're like, here, take this certain thing no matter what, and then, you know, like he was saying, like a 4 and it goes under him. That's like the only time where
I swear it didn't used to happen the first like 6 years of my career. Now it happens a lot.
Right.
Where I'm just like, oh, I think I jumped like a foot lower than.
I know. It's like it's a detriment to like always. I'm like always comparing myself to my old self.
Yeah.
And it's like. Maybe, you know, I'm smarter now. Like, I do things different. I'm seeing game better, probably. But I'm always like, oh, I feel like I faked way bigger back in the day, and I did all these, you know, all this crazy shit. And it, like, definitely hurts me to, like, try to play, like, 20-year-old try with John Hyden behind me, where I'm just like, you just do this. And I'm like, okay.
You were jumping too high back then. You should have been like me and just stayed
Right.
consistent,
And then just
right about
slowly-
26 inches.
Actually,
Just don't try until
Actually didn't
it's
jump as
18,
high.
17 in the first. So
yeah.
that's the key.
What's your guys? Has your guys' perspective changed? I know for me it has. Like going for the Olympics year over year again. Me and you have been through 3 now. Theo missed 3, and yes, I'm claiming missed 3. The sub is
One of mine
is
didn't
what it
really
is.
count. So the one where
With
I was
Reed?
with Reed, and then I gifted him to Trevor for
Oh yeah,
a
that
plaque.
one. That one. No, but like the Olympic quad runs, has your guys' perspective changed on just as we're growing up, seeing what the Olympics is from the inside and how much it affects our sport and all that? For me, it's changed a lot. Like it was like the everything in the beginning, and then the next year you're like, it's kind of like there's such a negativity to it, and there's like it's really not that enjoyable of a process. And then I realized, after going and then looking into the back end of it and the business side of it, and realizing how it's so sponsor driven and it's such a corporate event and it's just a one-off, and then seeing everyone on the World Tour this year, like literally how many bus rides have you had where you're just talking to other players about how depressed they are on the tour and how junk it is
To those.
money,
That's all
and
what
I'm like,
Theo would do.
That's all I would do.
Theo love that, I'm sure.
I knew, I think I like knew the rules of everything
Right.
more than anybody, and I was like, I would just talk to, and a lot of the Europeans, like, I don't know, maybe knew more stuff than me. So like, for example, Pablo Herrera, he's like kind of notoriously like not a friendly guy, and like we
Yeah.
bonded over our, well, first of all, being old, but second of all, just our hatred of like the current system and the
Yeah.
points, and it really was just a shit show. And I tried to complain consistently about it for 2 years. It had nothing to do with like
I
when we were
tried to
doing well
complain.
or bad. I was just like, this is fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like the way that it was broken down.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just because you remember the old system. It just like made sense. Like all the teams you thought should go would go, because it was hard to get lucky in a Grand Slam.
And it was
right?
worth your time,
like
too,
because
right?
you had to medal in one of those, you had to beat like 3 like really good teams.
Yeah.
And now, but then this time it was like just this weird system where like
Yeah.
all of a sudden fifths and challengers, which are not super hard to get, are like significantly more worthwhile than going to an elite. Like we did a couple times
Right.
where we go like 3-2 against like good teams,
Yeah.
and come away with like absolutely nothing,
Right.
like worse than nothing.
Yeah.
And then we're just like, shoot, maybe we should just play challengers, but that's like a dumb system. Like,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah. And
But
it's
yeah, I
just
complain a
like
lot.
I think that's the biggest difference. It was worth your time back in the day. Like, yeah, we'll go to this
Yeah.
event. We can
and it
make
was,
money.
there's like 12 Grand Slams. You go play those.
Yeah.
Maybe an open or two if you need to like supplement your points.
Yeah.
But now it's like you just need like a
There's too
Actuary.
Many, there's too many good teams now too.
yeah.
For the amount of money that's in it, there's way too many good teams.
Yeah.
For
Good
everyone
teams,
to
no
make,
money.
you know.
When we first
Yeah.
came on tour, it was first round or two. There was always a not a gimme, but like I don't know if me and Hayden took any 25th dead lasts. Like we always broke pool. There was always one team that was like, you should beat them. Maybe sometimes you didn't, but like there was always one team I feel like that was like that. Now it's like that doesn't exist even
Well-
in challenger qualifiers sometimes.
Yeah, but it doesn't exist. But then it also does exist because these small ass draws, and then all these elite tournaments, like when you have them in countries that don't have the strongest volleyball teams.
Right.
So all of a sudden you have like a Mexico team that hasn't, I mean, they're
Yeah, that's true.
cool guys, but like they haven't won anything in like several years. And so you get in their pool and it's like, oh, sweet, like guaranteed good finish.
Right.
Like, so that makes it, that's the most frustrating thing of all, because it's only 3 out of your 4. So it's
Right.
like a small sample size. And then, or you could get in a challenger and get the home team, like
Yeah.
Indian team, great guys, haven't played much volleyball. And then
Right.
you get a free good finish in that one. And you're just like, all right, well, this is lame. Like,
That was like the hardest match of my life, by the way. In India.
oh yeah, you guys almost lost.
Oh,
we were like,
In the first set.
yeah, we were like
Oh,
18
yeah.
all in the first set. I
everyone
swear to
gets
God.
food poisoning.
Yeah, there was definitely some pooping ourselves about to happen, but the heat, humidity, and UV index mixture was the worst I've ever felt in my life. So like, yeah, the India guys, which are like have no business being on the world tour, almost beat us just because I was dying so much. And I've played in like really gnarly event, like over 100 degree stuff, and that it just blows my mind that was the worst match of my career was against India, and we almost lost. Ugh.
That was like Recife.
Recife was.
Oh my God, dude.
For Theo, a little bit.
You're down.
That was probably the worst I felt. But that was I was sick for like some random illness I got in Qatar. So I was like super low on energy, and then it was like 90 degrees, just like in this part of the courts where there was like no wind really, and I, like, you know, when like your sweat clogs all your pores and you just start roasting, and I gave it like absolutely everything I had. We had a couple chances to like go up in the third. We definitely had chances to win in the second. I would say like they were pretty fortunate to have beaten us, given how everything played out.
Right.
But just gave every last ounce of energy and like could not move after the game. So.
The funny thing is, I don't think fans want to see that. Like the fact that we have to play in those conditions.
I don't think fans want to be out there.
The fans don't even want to be watching
100-degree heat.
Oh, they definitely don't want to be.
What is going on? Let's have a tournament on the equator.
Yeah,
pretty curious about this AVP League.
Yeah.
I could complain about the FIVB all day, so we should probably just
are we optimistic or pessimistic about
AVP.
the league?
I mean, I feel like we're all pretty cautiously optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic. I like that.
I mean, because
I can jump on board with that.
We've been around for a while. Like, we've seen like a few different iterations. Not some of like the big swings like in the old days, but I feel like we're all aware that it's hard to make money in the current system with the current tournaments and having difficulty, you know, charging admission in certain areas and having to pay the permits. So I feel like financially it's going to be more sustainable. The question is, format-wise, bringing people indoors to watch beach, if that's going to catch on.
I'm super excited because I just saw the venues.
But it's not all indoors.
Well, there's tennis.
I guess they're not all.
So indoor, outdoor tennis stadiums, but we're coming off the beach.
Stadiums. It's
stadiums.
Yeah.
They look dope. Like all the venues look awesome.
Yeah.
If you could, I don't know how it's. I think they're just selecting now. They said AVP commissioner selecting the teams now instead of a draft.
Oh, really?
I thought that's what I heard last.
Yeah, I think they're assigning us.
What city? If you could assign yourself, what city would you take? Austin, Dallas, San Diego, LA, Palm Beach, Miami, Brooklyn, New York.
But Brooklyn, they're not playing there, right?
No,
New
we're
York
not playing.
ones.
I don't
See,
think we're
if you could play there,
Austin Aces for me.
Austin is why?
I think it was the Austin Aces. No, I think it's a cool name.
Just because the name. There you go.
I have to look at the other names, but they all seem interesting.
They have a good fan base too in Austin.
Yeah, and they have a good fan base there.
What city are you choosing?
I mean, Brooklyn, just close to Connecticut where I grew up.
Oh, there you go.
So for sure.
Oh.
What about you?
Miami, maybe? It just sounds kind of like there'd be sweet after parties or something.
For our younger selves.
For our young, exactly. If after parties were a thing, and I could handle them. Oh, I like that. What's the rest of this season look like? Is it just AVP? Theo, are you going to go hit a bunch of challengers?
I might actually hit some challengers.
Really?
And I don't plan on playing. I do not plan on playing internationally next year.
You got to tell the people what are the plans here, because there's a lot of.
Okay,
I'll call them rumors.
First of all, I don't know. It's an option. I have no idea. Like, if I got offered like a decent coaching job next week, I'd probably just quit.
Is that like a for sure thing you want to get into, coaching?
Pretty sure. It's definitely my passion. Volleyball, learning about volleyball, like
you're
making it more efficient.
Nerd. I could see that
for sure. So that's one option, and then just getting some sort of normal job, like if we need health insurance. But essentially, the reason I want to do it is like the way that our run ended and the way that USA does the funding.
Yeah,
we got booted off of it.
Wait, you guys got booted off?
We got booted
the
off
top tier,
off every tier. So
wait, what?
We don't get anything anymore.
How is that possible?
It's possible because they do the 3 out of the 4 and then top 84 in the world. So because we went and played those stacked like right before the Olympics tournaments.
Whoa.
And like, yeah, we didn't do well in that Brazil elite. That would have bumped us up into the funding. Even though we played well, like lost that tie break again.
It's just weird, silly thing about this.
But yeah, that's why no one wanted to play the elite qualies, because we lost in 2 elite qualies, and that gives you like catastrophic points.
Aren't they changing?
You're below me in points.
They might, but not at the beginning of next year.
You're below me in points.
Oh, big time. I'm below
Whoa.
a lot of players. Like,
That's ridiculous.
I'm below like 12 players now.
For going to go and play in the biggest events in the world.
So
you get rewarded by getting fully demoted in the point system. Wow, I didn't realize that.
So I'm hosed, and
So you can go
I'll
just
be honest.
you can go just stay in the system and give yourself options for the future to stay on tour. You don't
I'm
want to go to zero.
I'm a little bit bitter about the fact that we both get kicked off. Trevor doesn't care as much, but so I want to go get back in.
Right.
Hopefully do it with someone, because I know Trevor doesn't want to play anymore this year. But like, do it with someone. It'd be fun to play with.
Right.
And like essentially take what I'm owed. Because I was just kind of irritated about that, and I was like, and plus I don't know. I wouldn't want to end my last tournaments playing internationally just being these like horrible slog where my body's like falling apart and I'm so tired, and like we're like losing it at the very end, like trying to hold on.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to go have some fun, play with like a young, hungry player, and get back into funding. Maybe I'll play a few next year to help somebody out, but certainly no long-term ideas of me playing
not
international.
Going for 28.
No,
that's for sure.
No.
AVP next year on the table, maybe.
I would say yeah. I was planning on essentially playing AVP till my points run out,
right?
And I have to qualify. So
that could be a while. You could be.
Could be a while. I mean, I guess we did well in Manhattan. If we do well in the league and whatnot, and things are going well, maybe I'd go hard again for another year.
Yeah, I got you.
But yeah, it's just priorities are starting to shift, 100%. And kids are getting at school age, and need some like long-term stability. So that has to start to become a priority as well. So, but just playing AVP, it's not the biggest commitment.
Yeah,
so
true. And you
can do both at the same time.
SoCal, near the beaches for now.
In the short term,
gotcha.
Good chance we'll end up maybe in the Midwest or something.
Go back towards
sooner than later.
Connecticut-ish. Not
Connecticut Greece? Or Wisconsin. No, I would go to Greece. My wife doesn't want to go to Greece.
Oh, interesting.
But I have a lot of family in Wisconsin. Good volleyball community.
Yeah, true.
Cost of living is lower. We're tired of being stranded out here with like nobody to help us with kids.
They have a beach program, I think. Wisconsin, right? And
they don't. No.
And they're like,
well, that's the tricky thing. If I'm to pick a region to go to before getting any sort of coaching job, like maybe I would have to do club or privates or do something completely different, which I'm open to. Also, insurance salesman, like I said before. So,
yeah, I'd rather
come to me for all your needs.
Yeah,
so.
Trev, no FIVB this year.
No, absolutely
and not. Next year, maybe.
Next year, probably a couple.
You gotta keep your points up, probably. Right?
Yeah, but not like stressing about it.
Yeah.
It'll just be play a few, maybe like certain ones that are cool to go to or cheap to go to. But yeah, next year is gonna be off, like in terms of trying to do anything international.
Yeah,
seriously.
Right.
And then 2026 kind of reassess.
Yeah. See where you're at.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be next to Crabb for 2028? Who are the prospects?
2028. Wow, that's really far out.
I don't even know. Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
He's gonna be sitting in his new plush house. How's that? There's a Crabb house renovation going on?
Yeah, we got a couple more months and then compound will be finished.
Just give us the general layout to our fans.
We're gonna have
What's it gonna look like?
2 separate small houses on this property. Taylor's in the back, I'm in the front.
2 couches, 2 beds, 2 televisions.
Just 2, yeah. 2 of everything.
2 refrigerators. No, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
The Crabb property is coming together.
And then hopefully maybe get our Whiskey with the Crabs podcast booth in the back in the shed.
Yeah. Are you going to leave you should make a little studio.
Taylor is his little right side studio.
Oh, yeah, but that's a shed. It's literally like a plastic shed, right?
Well, they converted it into into a little studio. It's like the size of where we're sitting right now.
Like this. Oh.
But I don't know how serious that thing is.
Right side?
The right side.
Have you been on the right side yet?
I haven't yet. No.
A little competition for you, huh?
My fee is too high.
What? Oh, I know. Seriously,
right side?
Yeah. I guess your fee's too high.
Yeah.
They got to pay you to come on? Wow. I'm special.
Yeah, like one a year.
So for the league, are there any specific? We said what cities we want, but what about the girls' team you want to be paired up with? Because that could be huge.
I don't know if it matters.
Why?
If they're
because you're trying to the big payouts for the
team itself.
But I think
team at the end
guys
of
and girls are separate.
Is
You're
it?
just playing at the same time. You're going to those stops with the girls.
No, there's a
I think
combined points total. You
If
could
that's
win.
the case,
You
that
could
is
win the match.
Interesting.
You get 2 points for a win.
for your city.
2 points
Oh,
for
and
a
the
win.
girls,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
and
mean,
the
like,
girls count
1 point for a
towards
loss
that.
or something.
So your city
And
total.
then your girls
points.
get 2 points, and your city, you're competing for your city.
Well, then in that
Let's
case,
assume that's
I
how I think it's
if that's
going.
the case, then
oh
I
yeah, it goes by city.
hope, I'll take Kristen and Taryn with us.
Well, that's our spirit team too, because they won Chicago when we won it last time. They won Manhattan with us. Plus, they're
That's
And
your
then-
spirit.
very good.
And then they're going to win Chicago with us this time,
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
right?
don't know. I might have to take Wilcox out there and just. I actually have to, by the way.
I might have to
I
take
got-
him
I
out
have
there. No,
one-
you have to
I have
take
only
him
a
out there.
9. So
Yeah.
I could.
You got a little work to do.
I got some work to do.
You got
on
wild
the,
card prospects in the event
Yeah, I
you
don't
guys
know how it
don't.
works.
Yeah, I don't either.
My thought was that they put these wild cards in case a Brandy or a Mel or someone, obviously they can't play Huntington, or some of these teams couldn't play
Yeah.
Huntington. If someone couldn't play just one of these other events, now they're out of the league.
Yeah.
In an Olympic team, and obviously that's not going to be okay. But like for someone in my position, I mean,
Just
I got
threaten
the
a boycott.
podcast. I'm taking
Yeah.
AVP off the podcast.
Just
We
tell
can't
all the
say-
SANDCAST listeners are going to guarantee not to support the league.
and they won't have any viewers.
That's
after that.
Triborn, yeah.
It'll just go completely under. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Chicago's a fun one though.
Definitely.
Maybe a final here. Us versus you.
I'll take it.
Let's go. That'd be pretty nice.
I don't like that. I'm serving you try because I don't know your partner at all. I've
Santa
never
Barbara
seen
guys.
Wilcox play.
You haven't seen him play at all?
No. A couple points here and there on YouTube, but
Yeah.
no. So I wouldn't like that.
You guys know me. Yeah, right.
I know you're like a known factor.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be in
No,
like
I'm
a big
running-
match and just
I'm
like I
running
have no idea
shoot
what this
sets
kid
and
does.
Quicks only now.
Are
No
you?
up and downs. I don't know. Am I? Better watch your film.
No, you
Who's
just,
what
you
coach
just
is
shoot.
what coach is coming out to Chicago?
Same guy.
Belly Diggs.
Belly Diggs. Yeah.
First name Belly, last name Diggs.
Yep.
Yeah. I think no one knows his actual name.
Danny Alvarez.
Danny Alvarez. I knew that. How was it having Belly Diggs on the road for you, Trev? I know because you've known him probably almost since birth, and
Yeah.
he's just like one of the homies that's kind of helped us grow through the sport. How was it having him out
I
there?
think it was awesome, and I think he's one of the better coaches out there too.
Mm.
You know, and he runs. We haven't had like true practices with him just because he was only at our tournaments, right? He's in Hawaii while we're here, so Theo's never trained with him, but I think his practices are awesome too.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think he's got a great mind, and he's been around the game for a long time. And he's one of the only coaches that have won a FIVB and AVP in the same year.
That's hard to believe. I heard that, and I believe it. But how is that possible? Because there's so many teams who have won many FIVBs and
I'd say recently, like
on the men's
I feel
side,
like-
maybe
I feel like that's
like
not
in the
a thing.
last 5
recently.
years,
Got it.
just because there wasn't many AVPs,
Yeah. Good point. Ever in the last 5 years.
But
Yeah.
And
you
maybe
mean like
only
who's
on the men's
attended
side.
them in person? Because then there's like Taryn and Kristen's coach.
No, yeah,
Just
you
one
gotta
plenty of
be
those.
there.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can't-
Good
You
point.
got to be there to silently
can't
sit in the
count.
stands and in the
That's
international
pretty cool
tour
how
and
he
do nothing.
pulls that off. It's actually genius.
Yeah.
I would coach a world tour team if you didn't have to go.
Oh,
And they just absolutely dominate.
I would coach it. Yeah, I would coach Taryn and Kristen. I just sit at home and
Do nothing.
do nothing.
How's the bodies holding up in general?
Pretty good.
All good. Shoulders good.
Shoulders
Shoulders
good.
been lively lately, huh?
A little lively, little Blake Lively in there.
Little Blake Lively shoulder.
Yeah.
Theo,
I'm
you're
feeling like a 30. I'm feeling like 29, 30.
Ooh. Okay, so
My worst 2 years was like our last. Actually, it was when we won AVP Team of the Year. That was probably my most painful year.
your
in terms of
shoulder
my
was
body.
kind of
my
trashed
knees
out.
and my shoulder.
Yeah.
Like
Try was carrying you pretty hard those tourneys.
I don't know.
He
It's all
was.
catching
You
up to
were.
me. It's all
No, you
catching
were-
up to
You were
me
carrying him. Those.
as well. I'm realizing my game is just like not that efficient. The style that I play. I mean, just blocking in general is freaking way harder than defending. Trev, what do you think now? Now that you've done all
For
three,
sure. Easily.
it's so much harder.
Yeah. Defending's easy. I mean, when you have a good blocker in front of you, it's easier. But in terms
Do you
of
even have to do cardio now?
we just do a little no jump. That's the only cardio I need.
It's the old man cardio.
And when you're
I need to be
freaking,
a defender.
It's helping his defense too. I swear.
I mean,
That's
like
barely
playing-
cardio though. I mean, if you're going hard,
If it's a good group, it's good cardio.
Yeah,
It's like because there's going to be a lot more rallies and longer
longer
rallies.
Yeah. And if
Um,
you're going hard, right? If you're like, not
I mean,
laying
that's why we
out,
always
not-
bet. So
Right,
like,
for sure.
I mean, you want to win,
Yeah.
and you're trying like
Yeah.
and it's kind of perfect like volleyball conditioning. It's like short bursts.
Yeah.
You get a little break, not the jumping aspect, but and it's great for ball control and stuff.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the way the game's evolving, and some people are trying to get on board, some people are just kind of sticking to their guns. You guys are obviously sticking to your guns. Like watching the
The big
Manhattan
guns.
final, it looked to me like a team in a constant trying to fix and figure things out mode during a really important match, versus a team that was just like, we know what we want to do and we're going to do it. Obviously, had a good game plan against that defense, but they never look like the same team every time they go out there. I feel like you get a different team every time, and they're trying to evolve to this new system, which you see like on the world tour and everywhere. Like people are trying to add in shoots and jump sets and this and that, when maybe some people are just good at heading up and down. You know?
I think it just depends on the team. Like Sweden, for example, how they said they're undersized and they wouldn't really get by with the straight up and down,
Right.
So they kind of.
Oh, so you watched our SANDCAST video?
I did actually watch the teaser last night
Pretty good, huh?
for the
You've watched one of these?
How good is that?
the main draw. That guy, the thing was that guy Chris.
Main draw,
what he was
yeah.
doing?
Chris Wong.
I
Yeah.
watched and then I watched the one of you guys when you lost to Chile and you're sitting.
You like that one? Huh? I love that one. I guarantee you.
Well, if I'm gonna watch that one, I'm gonna watch this
Listen,
one too.
guys, I'm an entertainer. You know, it's all the cameras. Like I can't run away. Normally, I run. I'm just gonna bake in this sorrow for the fans.
But like Qatar, they don't really do it, and they do really well. They're
Yeah.
more of an up and down. They're
They do some stuff. They option. They'll jump set.
not too much.
Kind
You
of,
guys
it's like
don't do
Sweden
any.
light. I actually love optioning, but Trevor won't option until later in the game. So with Kame, I threw Kame up all day because I hate siding out.
Yeah,
so like
yeah,
I'd much
yeah.
rather
I know.
just set
it's so
someone.
nice when
It's
you-
just not our like we worked on it some and we're just not good at it. So, but I mean I like it. I would like if I had time.
We do it in
Yeah.
transition. Like I shovel him
For
in
sure,
transition a lot. But yeah, side out. I'm more just trying to focus on
Yeah.
the pass and like.
I mean, the option game or the on two attacking has been around for a long time. It wasn't like that new. It's the jump
It's
set.
the jump setting and then
the true option of it. That's
yeah. I mean yeah, because if you look at Hayden and you, even like when I played with Hayden, I
We did
optioned
it.
a ton,
yeah, exactly.
and he was one of the best. So like
He has the best
Like-
transition platform, I guess I would say, in terms
Yeah.
of setting. Like he can accurately just like
Whoa.
you open. Okay, who else?
no,
For me,
no. Well, like if his platform's here, he's one of the best setters.
that's what I'm saying. Off a cut shot or something, and how he can.
but if you
shoot
give
it.
him a perfect pass,
Right, exactly. It is kinda
catastrophe.
funny. Right.
It's like once it's centered, he's like
I never understood that like his platform's literally, like I said, one of the best. Like running off
Yeah.
a cut or
Greatest
something.
of all
Even off
time.
a high line, he can set an option.
worse than my daughter, who's 5.
Right. So
Greatest
maybe it's off
5-year-old.
axis, off the middle
I'm a big no midline square up person.
for bump setting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes, but not always.
How do you do it then? I'm just trying to think. Like you have to face over here and kind of show it over.
Well, I'm personally more
Just kinda
comfortable.
goes anywhere.
No, the ones
As long as it's high lineable, it's fine.
Well, first of all, there's not a lot of like. The only digs he's getting, it's like on a 4 block, and I get like a nice easy,
Right,
and then maybe I'll chuck a hand set or two.
Yeah, I mean, you're in charge of hard driven. He's in charge of shots. It seems like.
I don't know. I dug a
that's-
few hard
And then
He did though. In
yeah,
Manhattan,
that's fair.
I was like almost not ready, and they were like nice and like in my wheelhouse,
Right.
and I'm just like, oh my god, like what do I do?
Yeah. You guys there was a few overpasses of them trying to run their system
Yeah.
that were just like right to you.
Yeah, and I still got blocked on one of them. So, but yeah, I mean, with any system, I mean, it's high reward, but there's
Yeah.
high risk as well. And then, I mean, they're gonna have to turn some dials and make it efficient for them. I mean, Sweden is, because you have to decide when you're gonna do it. Like, obviously, you can't just do it from everywhere. I feel like maybe now Andy and Miles are testing their limits.
Yeah.
But
They're
at some
just
point,
always
like you
testing.
have to like dial. Yeah.
That
It's like
actually
it can be.
messes
It's
with
a
me.
blessing and a curse
Yeah.
if you're like constantly trying to fix stuff. But that's what's been cool about Sweden. Like just as a fan, I need to go back and just watch more of them. But they got good at everything. Like
Yeah.
with the jump set, without the jump set,
Yeah, that's
in system, out of system. Like
And they're not that small. They don't play small. Like Helvig's not like this little block that you can just go over kind of thing. But I think they kind of get put in that category.
he's a
Like,
amazing
he's-
blocker. But yeah,
he's at least
he
as
jumps
big as
kinda like
me,
me.
right?
He like doesn't really bend his knees all that much.
Yeah.
But he does the thing.
I'd say he's probably same size block as me in terms of like how our arm reach and
Yeah.
our size.
He blocks the big boys pretty.
No, I think
Because he does
amazing.
the like he makes himself super big and doesn't
Yeah.
really do the like what we were all taught when we were young to like
sharp
get over the
presses.
net. But then when you're playing these like gigantic mammoths who are like Ellers,
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
not bringing it down much the
Right.
last 2 years.
Yeah.
So like you need some to deal with that, and
Yeah.
even if you're a little bit undersized with different techniques, you can.
I bet-
But he's like perfected it. It's amazing.
Right.
I bet with the Wilson, there'd be a lot less jump sets.
Really?
More people would be jump serving. If you imagine
Oh, I
Mole
see.
with his jump serve with the Wilson,
Yeah, Wilson.
you're not going to be just like, yeah, there wouldn't be as many jump sets, I think.
You guys like the Wilson way better?
No.
Yeah. It's better
I
to
do-
play
I
with
do.
all around ball.
I agree. You have more
Yeah.
control over it in general.
Well,
Although the
it's
new
easier.
F5
Picasso is just
FIVB
a
balls, it's not.
Oh.
I thought the new one was better than the last one. Like it moved a little more truly. The other one kind of like spatched.
The new one was a little bit easier to jump serve, I think.
The old
Add
Wilson
some
was
stick.
the
Yeah,
old
yeah,
Wilson
that's
was the
the-
best ball ever. The
The
white and
old
yellow.
Wilson, yeah, that was a good one. I mean, I don't
That
really
was the
see
best ball.
huge difference between the new one, the optics.
It's minimal.
Dude,
it
and
still
when,
moves a
and when the
decent amount.
Wilson's a little hard, it's impossible to pass.
When one
yeah,
is hard,
Yeah.
The Wilson, yeah,
Yeah.
they're a little too hard.
right? But you like the Mikasa?
I mean, I guess, yeah, I used to hate it, but I just appreciate that it's a little more how you hit it is like the input you put on the ball happens
Yeah,
after.
yeah.
Whereas the Wilson, that like your hand smushes into it. So it's like, as soon as I come from the Mikasa to the Wilson, like someone will spatch the hell out of a serve, and I'm
Right.
just like move out of the way, and then it lands in by 5 feet, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that was weird. So I appreciate the level of skill you need to manipulate that ball
Right.
well.
Dude, it's crazy that Adrian like made all of his living with that ball.
Yeah.
Like everything.
But he's got one of the best like ways of hitting the ball I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And and that's what makes it cool, is like it lets him manipulate it that much, because you can do more with it if you're good,
Right.
like him.
Yeah. Right. Huh. Well, speaking of which, he's sounds like he's retiring from Italy volleyball.
Yeah.
Have you talked to him, Trev?
No, but I think he's done. Last time I did talk to him.
Yeah.
Him and Alex, I think, are both.
That did not seem like it was going well. The partnership.
That was one of those everyone knew. I'm sure they knew they
Yeah,
weren't going to
for
like each other going into it.
It's amazing how often that happens, where partnerships are just like people just can't stand each other going into the Olympics, and they just kind of do it just to do it, get through it.
Could have been us. just hating each other in the Olympics.
Well, you proved that you can suck it up and just play, though. At some point, you just gotta be like, well, this is my shot, right? Like, I have to get over it. I don't know. Theo, I know you said you had to get out, what, 6:30?
I got a few more minutes.
A few more minutes to give us some witty dialogue.
Yeah.
I don't have any other topics on hand, but, what else do you guys have to tell the people? Anything else?
I guess nothing. I'll just talk about volleyball. We don't need to do that. So.
What about the after party?
The after parties? Well, Chicago does have an after party. We always have an after party.
Streeters
it's not official, but we go to Streeters.
Yeah, I'm going for 3 in a row.
Oh, you did it too.
Thanks to you, one, and thanks to you, one. Now I get
getting a lot of thanks.
Streaking.
Getting a lot of thanks.
Dude.
We're a big part of
you thanked me
this happening
for Manhattan. He's thanking me for Chicago. For the first Manhattan, there's a knuckle missing right here for you. That's Reed's knuckle. Oh man, yeah. After party scene's been a little weak. I'm actually happy though because I'm not good at partying anymore.
Me neither.
So like, if there were those like going out till 3 a.m. parties after every event, I'm just not built for it anymore.
Yeah, there's really nothing, even in the World Tour anymore.
What do you guys?
Good old days, Grand Slams and player parties.
It's whatever.
Get a 9th, you make like a good amount of money. It's like getting like a 3rd or a 4th nowadays for just getting a 9th back in the old day.
Dude,
and you just go to the party and like, sweet, got a 9th. And now it's like, we got a 9th. If this happens one more time, we're out of the funding. Now let's get on a plane and fly 40 hours and then fucking play some really good team.
Yeah, that's hard to believe. You know what I'm kind of
into? A good team in front of an empty stadium.
What I'm kind of into the idea of is this format idea. Because it's so much less work. And it's more fun, too. I hope at some point in my career before I retire, we can play in events where we're like a little more of a team, like the American players, where we can all like team up a bit. And like, I know that's the nature of the sport, is people want to see us go against each other, and I love it. But like, at least having one format every year, like the college format where we play USA versus Brazil versus Germany or something, or just straight like a format tour.
Format international team would be pretty cool.
Format international would be sick.
Especially, I think US would dominate.
But 4-on-4.
We only get one team.
A lot of these other.
If we had 2 teams.
A lot of these other countries only have like.
Oh, that's true. That's
team.
true.
Like, just Qatar gonna play with.
Just based on depth. That's a good point.
Yeah.
We should make this tour just based on that.
Yeah,
even like Norway would be good.
Norway would be good. Yeah.
The Dutch would be the best, probably.
Yeah,
just a bunch of hammers. Yeah.
I can't believe those guys are still playing with this style of play that they play. Because they're big dudes too.
Well,
yeah, but they're like European super.
Brower's done.
Brower's done. I think he had what? He has 2 kids now.
Or Robbie's done. I don't know if Brower's done.
Oh,
they might both be.
That was a long run together.
Yeah, dude, I can't imagine.
He was so sick of each other.
Playing with Theo for 11 years, like jump off a bridge.
I mean, I think that's the role would be reversed. I'd be like, why, God, he hasn't spoken to me in 6 years.
Actually, yeah. Theo would jump off first.
Just putting him down.
No, actually, I don't know.
It's a little dark, guys. Yeah. It's getting a little dark.
Well, we never said how high the bridge is.
Yeah.
10-foot bridge.
And is it into water? Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bungee jump just to get the adrenaline going.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Keep it light.
That's fair. So, all right, off season. What's off season look like for you guys this year? We kind of went over yours a little bit, Theo.
I mean, yeah, after the league, take a nice long off season. We basically played two seasons in 1 year.
Yeah, exactly.
10 events in 3 months. That's pretty much like a whole season. And then we had like an off season in the middle of the year. In the summer, there was nothing.
Yeah.
And then now we're playing the AVP and then the league. So yeah, 2 seasons in 1 year. So it'll be a long, extended off season. I probably won't ideally seriously touch volleyball till like the spring.
Yeah.
March.
Much needed, I'm sure. I'm trying to figure out what
I would still
that
do
looks
some,
like to me
like,
too.
for fun stuff,
Yeah,
volleyball.
for sure.
But no serious practicing until the spring.
Little Nooners ball.
Yeah.
With old man Krabby.
Yeah.
I can't believe your dad's so good at volleyball still. Like, he's been the same for, like, my whole life.
Yeah.
Maybe not true, but, like...
Slowing down.
But he could, like...
He was struggling
play
with
the
some of
boys.
those serves in Portugal, though.
Is
coaching
he
us.
starting to... All his serves are just short serves now?
Yeah.
That's how it was.
That's like belly digs, too.
Just-
Belly digs will warm up, and then finally
Then he can get
get it going.
to the back line.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man, I'm really good at practicing short serves here. Theo, similar. You're just kind
I just have to
in a
figure out
state
an entire new way of living
of life.
and place to live and job to do. But other than that, just typical old off season. So,
A lot to figure out.
yeah.
I
Make
like
sure
it.
my children don't starve. So,
Yeah, exactly. Love it.
classic.
Thanks for cutting that funding. USA Volleyball would have been nice. this
Yeah,
offseason,
yeah.
huh?
Well, and we lost our sponsor too, so it was a double
Yeah.
whammy right around the
We
same
all
time.
lost that one.
Yeah.
You guys got paid a little more.
We got a few more months than you guys.
More
Yeah.
months. They tried to cut me off about like 6 months before everyone else.
We won't mention
don't-
their name.
We don't need to go into that. Sponsors are nice though. Well, Theo, you said you got to get out of here. I ran out of questions. I'm gonna give you guys booze next time, and we'll
Yeah.
go deeper.
Booze it up.
Some whiskey town.
Maybe we just do
We'll go to
another
Whiskey Town.
Whiskey with the Crowds podcast.
We actually recorded oh yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
We recorded an episode the other night after your win.
Theo wasn't here.
Theo wasn't here.
Me.
Late night party. I just found a Jack in the Box fry on the ground as I was setting
We
up.
ordered $250 worth of Jack in the Box. Well, we didn't. Jameson McKibben did. Idiot.
Trevor's talking.
You never give someone your card and say, order what you want.
Okay,
I
yeah.
learned that. I learned
Trevor's
from
talking.
that.
Trevor was
He
on his
went
high
there
horse.
and-
No, DoorDash did.
Trevor's like, I won so much. Jameson, order whatever you want. Money is no object for me right now. Did you not see how much money I just won today? He just fully on his high horse, running his mouth. And I mean, even I didn't think Jameson would like go that crazy. He
Dude,
bought.
Wait, how many?
there was
people
8
was it?
people here.
There's
And he
Eight
ordered
people.
probably 12,
enough for 20 people.
12 bags of food, full of food with a drink for each bag.
It's
like
impressive.
large fries, burgers, tenders. There was 8 people in here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what though? You go big that night.
$210.
And I
better
had one,
than like if you guys
I had
went to
one
a strip
chicken
club or
sandwich
something.
and some fries.
Rosie walked home with like 4 bags. Like, you
Rosie,
guys gonna eat these?
Rosie took it all home.
Dude, and then I'm walking down the hill to practice a day later, and I see one of the drinks and a bag on the ground. Like, he couldn't carry it all. It's just right. I totally had to pick it up. I was like, this is littering on my part.
Dude,
This
you
ain't
better not
my
have
house.
spilled ketchup on my Theo Brunner fan club
Oh, he
T-shirt.
was
Oh,
wearing that shirt.
he wore that home.
He's gonna bring it to practice tomorrow.
Yeah. So
Apparently
that
doesn't want
podcast exists.
We might
It
need
definitely
a few.
should not go public.
No, but we could maybe get a few sound bits.
Maybe
from
sound bites.
Yeah.
That could be a good little candy
it.
for
I think so.
our entertainers.
Yeah.
For our entertainment fans. Whatever you call them.
Yeah.
All right, on. All right, guys. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right.
Bedtime
We'll go.
for the kids.
Let's go
Gotta
take
go
care of
home.
our kids.
Yeah.
Go tuck Bug in.
I'll go tuck Bug in.
Veronica tucks
Yeah.
Trevor in. He needs to be
Veronica,
tucked.
for sure. I guarantee
It's almost tuck
He has a
time.
nighttime routine that Veronica has to like take care of him before bed or something.
Yep. I do.
He sleeps in the shower. I've already heard that one.
Lights
I don't know,
lights
is that
gotta
supposed
be
to go
out.
public?
Lights gotta be out at X amount of time.
Sound machine.
She's got to go under the covers if she wants to be on her phone.
Is she not allowed to flush when she goes to the bathroom in the middle of the night?
No, there's no flushing.
So it's like what we do when we travel, but
No,
Yeah, everyone does
inflict
that.
that upon.
That's standard.
You don't need to.
It is
you know?
not worth waking up your
It's
teammate
not.
on
It's
the
not.
road,
That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Unless
that's
you
one of
take
those
a-
things I
unless you
never
take a
really thought
dump.
about.
Smelly
Yeah,
toilet.
if you take a dump,
But
yeah.
that's pretty rare.
Midnight dump.
That's pretty rare. You know that you ate something.
But what
wrong.
if it's like world champs medal rounds the next day? Do you flush? Or you just have your partner wake
No,
up and be
you-
like, sorry, bro.
I think you flush.
If the sound machine's
Like if I were to flush
Yeah.
in the room with Trevor, it would be like just fuck you, you asshole. Like it would be the same thing as doing that.
right.
But I never thought about it really.
Yeah.
Maybe like Todd had mentioned it to me or something when I first started playing on the World Tour. And now, like, if I'm ever staying with anyone, it's like the first thing I say, I'm like, do not flush that toilet if you get up in the middle of the night.
Dude, that's another huge joke is about our sport, is that we have to stay with our partner and on the road.
Right.
No other sport, everyone's getting their own room.
Right, 100%.
Like, it's wild. And some people crash. Some people have their coach sleep in the same room as
for
them.
sure.
Yeah, we've done that.
It's
Have you slept on your floor with
have
you and Hayden, right?
Oh, yeah,
and me and Hayden for a little
It is
while.
wild.
You have your like wife sleep in that room, and you'll share a bed while like your friends sleeping in the other bed.
dude.
I think I probably had me, Naya, and Gabby in the room with you before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If she was still
that's our
pregnant.
sport.
Yeah.
That's our sport. Well, I mean, technically, we could just buy another hotel room, but
I mean,
Not
if
really
you're in
getting
like
paid
Switzerland,
accordingly.
you're not going to pay that much.
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, that's a good topic to end on. I think is the flushing of the toilets
Yeah.
etiquette.
Yeah.
It's wrong. It's immoral. Once you
I
see it,
agree.
you can't unsee it. You
Right.
can't be flushing in the middle of the night.
Just dehydrated too. Everyone's real dehydrated from playing all day.
Dehydrated. Now we're like in
Asparagus
mid-30s. Like
dinners.
it's harder to go back to sleep when you wake up. You
Right.
wake up a little bit more.
Yeah.
You're just searching for that night of like continuous sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go, people. Take that advice and run with it.
Don't flush the toilet with your partner in the room at night.
If it's yellow, let it mellow.
Yeah. If it's brown,
Flush it down.
All right.
Thanks for listening.
Finished. This is finished.
Okay, see you later.
shoot.